Good Monday morning, OJ. Today is Monday, February 1st, 2021.
We just want to take this time to remind you, as we had our virtual conferences, so to speak, where some of the teachers contacted families this past week, to check your grades. Check your grades in PowerSchool, talk to your teachers about missing work, get help if you need it. That's what we're all here for. Complete that missing work and please turn it in. I can't tell you how many kids I've worked with that had a bunch of completed activities in their locker that they just didn't turn in. Attend a math lab if you need that help. Ask people about mentoring and use that class time wisely. Almost every single class gives nearly, if not totally, enough time to complete every assignment each day. Use that time wisely. Use the teacher. Ask for help. Ask your peers. Get that work done. Now is the time to get moving on those grades.
Absolutely. So, just some COVID procedures we want to reiterate to all of you. Remember that our lockers are only to be used before school and after school and during lunch. That's it. It has cut down on the congestion in the hallway so much this year just by not using our lockers during those passing times. It is amazing. Remember that you are expected to go directly from one class to another. Don't stop and socialize, gather in groups, walk around the building unnecessarily, or use the restrooms between classes. That's a deviation from what our expectations were before. But remember, if you need to use the restroom, make sure you go to class, wait for that passing time to be done, then ask your teacher to go to the restroom. Again, we're doing that just to allow for that physical distancing in the hallways and to make this building as safe as we possibly can so that you can be healthy, be safe, and be an Oriole.
Few after school reminders, as we do have some athletes participating in some things after school. Due to COVID restrictions, students unfortunately may not attend any sporting events. In fact, really only a parent or maybe in some cases two parents are able to join those events when those start at this point. So students may not at this point, unless they're participating, attend those events. So all students really should be exited out of the building by 3 p.m. And really the only exceptions to that are mentoring, math help, and if you are participating in a sport and have a current practice with that coach. We also want to just take a minute to remind you, I totally get why you guys do this. I want to take my mask off the second I get out of the building as well. But if there's still a bunch of people outside or really anyone outside, that mask should be kept on, especially if you're socializing in groups. Just because you're outside does not mean that you can't pass different germs to each other. Please stay safe. We want to stay open. And so I know that seems like a silly thing, but it makes all the difference.
Absolutely. Our academic vocabulary words of the week are compare and contrast. So one of my favorite diagrams is the Venn diagram that you see here on the screen. A Venn diagram is a great tool to compare and contrast different things. And to compare and contrast means to note what is similar and different about two or more things. You'll put all the stuff that's different in the outer circles and then the stuff that's the same in the inner circle of the Venn diagram. It's a great tool. I love it as a graphic organizer.
Our PBIS word of the week is empathy. And empathy means it's the ability to understand or share someone else's feelings. So it's the ability to basically put yourself in the other person's shoes. So understand their perspective, understand why certain things may have made them feel a certain way, maybe understand why someone may be upset about something and things like that. So it's really taking that time to understand another person's viewpoint and feeling, respect and maybe, feeling that how your choices may affect that other person and really being respectful of that. Some ways you can be empathetic is to be kind to each other and really understand that although you not always mean to, sometimes some of those words you may say or the jokes you might throw out there really might hurt somebody's feelings. So being kind and making sure we're not putting ourselves in that situation. Understand and respect people's differences. Everybody comes from a different walk of life. Even here at Ludington, you might have different political beliefs, religious beliefs, whatever. It does not matter. Let people be who they are and respect who they are. What makes us all different is what makes us all cool and important. That's what's so cool about, living in this society is that everyone's different and we just need to respect that. And take some time to look at things in a different viewpoint. So a great example of this, when I have kids come to my office, it's like, well, I was just talking, I wasn't trying to do whatever. And I just, okay, well, from the teacher's side, They spent this time completing their lessons. They spent all this time getting something prepared for you. And instead of listening, you ended up kind of wasting their time and they didn't feel respected because of your choices. How do you think that person felt because of your choices? So it's just really taking that moment to look at situations from someone else's viewpoint or side in order to understand how other people may have felt in that situation.
Being empathetic is one great way to be an Oriole. We hope that you are responsible, respectful, and that you're an Oriole all week. Have a great week. Go O's.